We're going to produce a column chart, and the first thing I have to do is select my data range. I'm going to scroll across to homework 17, and I'm going to select my data from right to left. So we go right to first column for homework. Now, let us take a look at what charts Excel recommends. So I'll go to recommended charts, and the first two charts are clustered column and clustered bar, which is what I would have expected. Let's take a look at column charts that we've got available to us. So I'll click on the column charts button, and you can see I've got 2D and 3D columns and 2D and 3D bars. I'm going to select the first option, and I'll just resize my chart so it's bigger for us to see. Here's our initial chart with our chart title and our y-axis and our x-axis. Let's set about changing the appearance of our chart. So we'll start off with our title. I want to make it bold, and I want to make it bigger, and I want to change what it says. So I'll highlight it and go home. I want to make it bigger, so I'll make it 18. I want to make it bold. Now I want to change what it says to read average homework scores. I can see my title quite clearly, average homework scores, really easy to see, and I can see my data. If I click on each bar, I don't even have to read what the totals are of the graph. I can see the scores by clicking onto the columns. Let's add some colours to the chart. I'll click on to the columns, and you'll see that they're all selected, but I just want to add colour to the highest score and the lowest score. To do this, I'll click on the highest score column. I'll go to the Home tab, and I'll select the Fill button, and I'm going to make this a nice gold colour. And my lowest score, I'll select that next, go back to Fill, and I'll make this a light green. And here we have our chart. At the moment, it's easy to read what it's about, easy to point to columns and get scores. You can clearly see my lowest score and my highest score. I'd like to introduce the quick layout tool. To do that, I'll click on my chart, go to quick layout, and you can see there are lots of different layouts I can choose for my chart, and I'm going to choose one that allows me to retain the current look of the chart, and it gives me the opportunity to label my two axes with an appropriate title. In true Blue Peter fashion, here's one I produced earlier, and I'm going to drag it down under my chart to reposition it, and there we have our simple chart for average homework scores over 17 homeworks. We have our title, we have our axes, we have our data well represented, we have our lowest score, and we have our highest score. And all in all, a good way to represent our homework scores in a visually attractive but easy to read manner.
Brought to you by Evolution.